What? What, sexy butt? Goodbye. So today I'm actually filming in front of my small bookshelf with books that I got from Book Bonanza last year, and I probably plan to never get another book again. I am an avid Kindle reader. I believe in saving the trees and all that. I've decided to start filming on my phone instead of my webcam. I feel like the quality is so much better, so I hope you guys enjoy. I decided I would do the newbie booktube tag. I figured it was a good way to introduce myself. I realized this is probably a video I should have made first, but this happened. Alright, so the first question is, why did you start this channel? I decided to start this channel because I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. I'm not particularly pretty, and my voice is pretty annoying, but that's just something that I have to get over. My main focus for the channel are books and book related things, but I would also like to delve into some mental health stuff, anything that piques my interest. Alright, second question. What are some fun and unique things that you can bring to booktube? I have a very dry sense of humor and I tend to be very honest. I feel like that can be a good or bad thing depending on your perspective, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, I feel like everyone on booktube does the same thing anyways. The same things are always repeated. But that's none of my business. And either way, I am not popular enough for my opinion to matter, so it's fine. And I was like, well, why don't I just add my awful voice to the cacophony of all of the other voices out there and see what happens. Third question, what are you most excited for this new channel? I'd actually really love to meet other people with similar interests as me. I don't have a lot of book lovers in my life. In my life. I don't have a lot of book lovers in my life besides maybe my mother and a couple friends, but we don't ever talk about books that much. So it'd be nice to just get my feelings out. Maybe people I don't know I can make friends with and we can connect and we can love and hate books together. You know, if I can at least talk to a camera and pretend that there's someone behind it that I'm talking to about my feelings about a book, I can deal with that. And with, you know, making book review videos or videos in general, I feel like I can say my opinion and say my feelings and I can pretend that there's someone there behind the camera, you know, and that's fine with me since that's more than what I get usually anyways nowadays. Alright, fourth question. Why do you love reading? I feel like that's such a loaded question, but not at the same time. I mean, why do any of us read? We read to educate ourselves. We read to escape the real world. There's so many other reasons. I just can't think of them right now. Really, for me, it's to escape, especially now. But if I'm being honest, for some reason during quarantine, I just have not felt like reading. Maybe it's just the anxiety though. Alright, next question. What book got you into reading? No matter how controversial J.K. Rowling is, but I can't deny that her series, you know, Harry Potter, got me into reading. Actually, because I was a very stubborn child. So when I was younger, I read like a few number of smaller books, but I finally, at my school library, came across Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the very first book in the series. I started to read it in my parents' office space, I guess, and my dad came in and he's an extremely religious man, grabbed it from my hand and he proceeded to throw it away. I was like, oh hell no. I kind of want to really read that now, especially because you don't want me to. So my mom was on my side and she actually took the book out of the trash for me, cleaned all the eggshells off of it, and I read the entire book in a day. After that, I read the entire series in secret. And from that point on, I was really interested in fantasy books, magic, stuff like that. I find it really interesting and it's obviously very different from real life. So maybe that's why I'm so interested in it. Next question. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? How much do you have to pay to have... We just love the noises of Chicago, huh? How much did you have to pay to have enough space for those giant bookshelves? Like the cost of the books and the bookshelves and the space that you're renting or living in? How? What challenges do you think starting a booktube will be the hardest to overcome? Dealing with the fact that people might not like my content and I may not get a lot of likes or views. I think that's just a self-esteem and pride issue though. Maybe my ego just can't handle it. But it's something that I just have to get over. It does suck putting in a lot of effort and not getting a lot in return, especially since growing a YouTube channel after a lot of research, it could take years for you to even get a small following. And even then, I don't think I'm influential enough to ever get a big following, but that's fine. I enjoy making these videos so far, and I think I'll enjoy making them in the future as well. Next question, when did you start reading? I started reading all the way back in middle school, maybe elementary school. I was reading high school level books when I was in middle school. Next question, where do you read? I read anywhere, usually on the couch or on my bed before I go to sleep. All right, question number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? I like fantasy, dystopian, young adult. I also really like new adult, but it's kind of a rare genre. And I like adult books as well, but again, only when it's done well. Romance is a 50-50 for me. I don't like forced relationships where I feel like the characters were just thrown in for no reason and forced to love each other. Whatever, that's just not my thing. But if the romance is built up and there's a lot of tension, then it's a good romance book. That's the end of the booktube newbie tag. I hope that you guys really like the content. I'll be releasing hopefully at least once a week, maybe twice if time allows it. I am a full-time student starting next week again. So yeah, I really hope you guys like it and hope you all have a wonderful day.